Episode 1, The Inquisitor's Shadow. They say the Holy Office sees all, that no sin escapes its net, and that in the dim corridors of faith every desire must bow its head. But that is a lie. Even the Inquisition had shadows it dared not touch. My name is Alonso de Villamar, sworn to God, to order, to vows that have already cost me more than anyone suspects. Spain believes it sent me to New Spain for my talents, yet those who whispered behind closed doors know better. A man with my past does not remain in Madrid. Not after what happened, not after him. I was 38 when I boarded the galleon Santa Rosaria. A thick fog rolled over the harbor of Cadiz, swallowing lanterns and muting the faces of men who boarded with steadier hearts than mine. The sea smelled of storms, of beginnings that felt too much like punishments. I stepped onto the gangplank, robes brushing my boots, rosary warm in my palm, hot even, as if reminding me of the touch I once allowed myself to long for. And then I saw him. He was carrying rope over his shoulder, head bowed in concentration. Lean, young, sun-warmed skin curls damp against his forehead. His shirt clung to him, half from sweat, half from labor. He did not see me at first. When he did, he froze abruptly, lowered his gaze to the deck and bowed, deeply, humbly, almost fearfully. "Padre," he murmured, barely above a whisper. Nothing more. His eyes flickered up only once, so briefly it could have been an accident, and yet that single glance lodged itself in my chest like an ember. I forced my voice steady. "A new deckhand?" "Servant," the captain said. "He belongs to one of the colonial officers, name's Mateo." The name slipped into me with a strange, quiet weight. 3 days at sea, a storm rose. The others hid below deck, but solitude suited me. Or so I told myself. I stood at the railing, rain stinging my face, when I sensed someone behind me. "Padre," a faint voice, careful, unsure. I turned. Mateo stood barefoot, holding a lantern that shook slightly in the wind. His eyes never lifted past my collarbone. His deference tightened something inside my chest with painful familiarity, memories I had spent years burying beneath cassock and penance. "You should be below," I said. He nodded quickly. "Yes, Father. I only wish to bring you light." His voice trembled, not with seduction, but with the instinct to serve. "You fear the dark?" I asked. He hesitated. "No, Father. I only obeyed." Another bow. "Forgive me if I disturbed you." He began to withdraw, stepping back into the shadows, and something shameful in me ached at the distance. "Stay," I said before I could stop myself. His head lifted a fraction, just enough to let me see confusion soften into a quiet, obedient stillness. He did not speak again, but once for a heartbeat his eyes drifted toward mine, quickly, chastely, and yet it struck like a confession. I turned away sharply, because I felt the pull, the same one that had destroyed my life before. The next morning, after hours of hearing small confessions, the final penitent entered. Mateo. He knelt immediately, head bowed low. "Padre, I seek forgiveness." "For what?" My voice was colder than intended. "For—" His breath caught my thoughts. He said nothing more. Would not, could not. But the silence was louder than speech. His shoulders trembled, shame, fear, and something else, something he did not dare name. My pulse stumbled. "Stand," I said. He obeyed instantly, eyes fixed on the floor, never seeking mine, never bold, never daring, only present. and the purity of his passivity undid me more than any seduction could. "Your thoughts are not sin until you give them form," I said. "Pray, and guard yourself." His voice was barely breath. "Yes, Padre." Then a softer, breaking whisper. "Will God forgive what the heart feels without wanting to? A knife through me." "Go," I said, harsher than intended. He obeyed, almost fled, leaving the scent of salt and sweat and humility behind him. 2 nights before landfall, I found him at the stern, knees drawn to his chest, humming softly to himself. A lullaby, perhaps, something lost and small. His head bowed the moment he sensed me. "Forgive me," he murmured, rising to stand before I asked. "I can move, Father." "You may stay," I said. He sat again only when I sat first. Even then, he left more space between us than politeness required. Yet his presence radiated warmth, youth, innocence that I had no right to want near me. "What song is that?" I asked. He startled slightly at being addressed. "A song my mother sang, Father." He didn't elaborate. Mateo never elaborated. He revealed only what obedience allowed. "You believe in spirits?" I pressed. He nodded once. "I believe in doing what I'm told." A quick, apologetic bow of the head. "Forgive me. I speak too freely." He didn't. He never did. But the idea that he might just once unsettled me. Footsteps interrupted us. A sailor, his eyes lingered on the space between us, suspicion narrowing his gaze. Later the captain said, "If the boy causes trouble, he'll be thrown overboard." A chill went through me so fiercely I nearly whispered a prayer. "He won't," I replied. But it wasn't certainty. It was fear. Fear of losing the presence I had no right to crave. The night before landfall, a slip of parchment appeared under my door. "Padre, may I speak with you?" At the stern, the handwriting was uncertain, humble, as though he feared even to ask. I knew I should not go, but I went. He was waiting, head bowed, hands clasped before him as though awaiting reprimand. "I leave tomorrow," he said softly. "My master will take me to the barracks. I wish to thank you for kindness." His voice nearly broke on the word. No boldness, no requests, only gratitude, and a sorrow he did not try to hide. I stepped closer. "Mateo." His name slipped out like prayer. He lifted his eyes. For the first time, not furtive glances, not obedience, but fully. Wide, vulnerable eyes meeting mine with all the desire he was too afraid to name, too conditioned to act upon. Not seduction, revelation. My vows tightened around my throat. My past pressed its teeth against old wounds. The man I once loved, secretly, briefly, ruinously, seemed to stand between us like a ghost. "This is dangerous," I whispered. He lowered his head instantly. "Forgive me. No," the word caught in pain. "No, it is I who—" But then screams, lantern light, footsteps. We tore apart. Mateo dropped to his knees, head down, as though already bracing for punishment. "Padre?" a sailor barked. "Yes," I said. I was praying. Mateo did not breathe until the man left. When he finally stood, his eyes were wet with shame and fear. Fear not of me, but of what others could do to him. "You must go," I whispered. He obeyed immediately. No protest, no plea, no backward glance. His obedience hurt worse than temptation. Tomorrow he would be taken ashore. Tomorrow he would belong to another master. Tomorrow I would lose the only warmth I had felt since the scandal that exiled me. And God help me. I did not want to lose him. this was only the beginning.